Yes, hello. Good day. So I'm driving in my Audi A4, which is still quite new. I had it for 2 months now. So it's an Audi A4 2017 edition. I'd just like to blog a little bit about some observations here now that I've been driving here for 5,000-6,000 kilometers. How's it going? Just a few things I've noticed. When I bought this car, I configured it on purpose with a quite high horsepower. I think the standard for this car is around 90 or 80 or something like that. I don't remember. But I configured it all the way up to 150 horsepower. So it's quite powerful engine I've got here. I should say as well it's diesel and it's automatic gear. Now this horsepower, it is really nice. It really means that when I'm in any kind of trouble in the traffic, I can quickly get out of it. Or if I see an opportunity, a hole in the traffic, somewhere a hole that I can slip through, I can get there before 90% of the cars around me, just because I've configured the car to be more stronger than the other ones. The only ones that really normally get away before me is the really highly configured BMWs or Tesla. That's what I've noticed after these 2 months now. Tesla and BMWs, they are normally the only ones that get away from me. So I just don't understand why people would choose a standard horsepower. It doesn't cost that much extra compared to all the other options you can have. It costs the same as a nice stereo, as a sunroof or something. It doesn't cost much more than such a functionality like that. And it's so much more fun when you're driving. When you really push the speeder and you press it into sports mode, you just go woo. You fly and you can feel that you're pushed back in the seat. It's a lot of fun. Voila. I should say as well that this blog is being made in Belgium. I live in Belgium, and I'm driving the Belgian highways here where there's a lot of traffic. So it's very good to be able to cut through the traffic whenever you have the option. So it's an Audi A4, and as far as I can see, it's completely standard in Audi A4 that there is no screen, the wipers in the rear window, in the back window. There's no wipers at all, which really came as a surprise and a bit of a horror to me when I found out, because very often you have all kind of stuff on the window, whether it's snow or rain or dirt or I don't know what, that you want to or damp very usually, and here you cannot get away. So instead, of course there is this heating system built into the window. I don't know what it's called, in the back, and you press that one, and then that takes away most of the fog and the humidity, whether it's inside or outside. But I just don't understand that. First of all, that heating system in the window in this car, it's no way stronger than in other cars with wipers. So there's no compensation for the lack of wipers, which I don't understand. And also, not only is it not stronger, but it's also just as short or even shorter than other cars. So when I press it, I think it goes on maybe for a minute, 2 minutes, I don't know, and then it stops. And that's normally not enough during cold climate and humid climate. That means I have to press it again and then again. Coming back to the engine, also, like I said, this is automatic gear. It has the option to go into manual gear if you want to. See if I can show you maybe. There it is. Voila. This one. Automatic gear. Up to 7 gears, whether it's normal drive or sports mode, right here. And you can also choose to go into manual by pressing it this way. I can try to do that now. Well, now I'm in manual, and then I can change the gears as I want, up and down. And I go back to normal here, so like that and like that. Quite nice. And a lot of people, they apparently they choose to take the manual from time to time, just because they think it's more fun. It's more fun to change the gear manually. But I must say, during my 2 months, I've never ever missed the manual gear one single moment, and I don't think I would ever use it unless I'm in a really crazy snowy situation uphill where I really have to manipulate the gear strongly. Then maybe I would use it, but otherwise it's a wonderful thing to be able to forget about the gear stick, never have to use it, and just that means from now on I can drive with just one hand on the steering wheel right here, the other hand doing nothing at all. That's something I would recommend for everybody to get automatic gear. I know it does cost extra, I think quite a lot extra, but it's so much worth it. Another observation with this Audi A4 is that it's actually consuming quite a lot of gas. It's the first time ever that I have such a, can I say, premium expensive luxury car like this is, mid-range luxury car, and I'm surprised that it's not more economic than it is. It should, even when I'm standing perfectly still, it is consuming a lot of energy because it is ready. It doesn't slide back. That's one thing. So the brake is somehow activated, and also the engine is a little bit pushing forward, so that whenever I let go of the brake, it will automatically start slowly sliding forwards. Where other cars, older cars, if you let go of the brake, either it will slide a bit backwards or it will just stand perfectly still. It's a bit random what other cars do, but this one systematically stays totally still, and then it will slide forward when you let go of the brake. And that functionality consumes quite a lot of gas as well. So that's just one example, but other things as well is doing. For example, I have chosen this car to have automatic cruise control or something like that, where it automatically measures the space between the other cars in front and in back, and then it adjusts the speed after that, which is really smart, super cool. But it employs a lot of energy and a lot of gas for the car to do that, because it is speeding up too much, then it brakes too much, then it speeds too much, then it brakes too much. It's so actually I would say for people who are considering right now, they're configuring an Audi car or another Volkswagen similar type of car, I'm not so sure I would really recommend the cruise control, and I also have lane assist I think it's called, where the cameras measures the lanes, the stripes, the lines on the street, so that you don't slide off, and then it automatically adjusts the steering wheel. Again, it sounds good, but it's not really working. I would say the lane assist is the most faulty functionality in this car. It's like it works half of the time or 1/3 of the time. The other half of the time it doesn't work. And it's not because the lines here are not wide and clear enough. It can see them, they're there. It just doesn't sense them for some reason. So these are options that cost quite a lot. These lane assist and cruise control. I'm not sure about the right words, so don't take my word for it. So the lane control doesn't always work. The cruise control, it's nice, but it's a very abrupt feeling, especially when you're queuing on the highway or wherever there's a lot of queuing. You're sitting there waiting. You go 2 meters forward, 1 meter forward, 5 meters forward, 1 meter forward, then you stop. These type of things. It would be nice in an ideal situation where you can just lean back read a paper, drink a cup of coffee, check your emails, whatever, and then all this stuff happens automatically. It would be nice, but in reality, the feeling is so abrupt. It breaks so tough a lot of the time. It gives you scares that you're not really relaxed, and the lane control does not really work very well either. So these two, they sound good and they should be good, and I think maybe Tesla, other cars, they managed to do it better, but I'm not so convinced with Audi. I'm happy I've tried it out, but right now I kind of regret that I put the money into this. I'd much rather have something much more tangible, like heating in the car, in the seats, which I chose not to have, or leather seats, something much more simple and down to earth, but that gives a lot of comfort in the daily time you spend in the car. Alright, check back for more Audi videos later. I'm trying to vlog regularly about Audi A4, so please check back for more videos, and I invite you to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, etc. Alright, see you later, bye bye.